So if you choose to have more time with me beyond just one session, I have laid out different packages of information that you'll be picking up in every single session. One of my favorite things to talk about is tree spirit. Now, tree spirit would be a prescription, right? Like, how can I communicate to tree spirit in order to give me more information on who I am now? That doesn't make much sense. That sounds actually quite crazy. Well, let me tell you a little bit about tree spirit information. Everything speaks. From the rocks, from the rocks to a crystal, to a tree, to a blade of grass, everything speaks, and everything has an energetic form. Now, even though I'm having a conversation with you in this moment and talking to your buffers and your guardians and following your cords, you are a living individual. So to have a conversation with another being or with another entity is very exciting. And my most favorite one is tree information. One of the things that I like to talk about in a session is how do you ground yourself? And everyone has their own grounding technique, but the one that I find that works the best is to make physical contact with a tree or a plant and listen for information. And there's a longer explanation that we go into in a session on how to do that. But to kind of summarize it, to be able to quiet the mind and to have a connection, physical connection with a tree, the first thing I like to do is I talk about you express your gratitude for that element. And that gratitude helps to kind of get you on the same ground. And then once you express your gratitude, we focus on listening. And when we listen, we get a download. We get them quite quickly, actually, and you'll hear something. And our brains tend to say, oh, that's just in my mind. Why am I thinking that thought? That's just in my mind. But what's actually happening is that tree is sharing information with you. I'd like to go a little further and give you an example. So I was talking to my mother about tree information, and my parents live in a really beautiful plot of property in the Pacific rainforest, and they're surrounded by all these trees. And every day my mom goes for a walk and she walks down this lane and she sees all these wonderful trees. And I said to her, you can talk to those trees. And she goes, oh, I do. I talk to them every single day. And I said, but have you listened? And she says, I don't think I have. And I said, okay, you're going to touch the tree. You're going to express some gratitude. Then you're going to listen for what the tree says to you. She goes, that sounds a little crazy. And I said, it does sound crazy, but try it. What's going to happen? Just try it. So we go on a walk, and my mom places her hand on this tree, and I wanted to give her some space, so I kept on walking. And I walked down this winding lane, and I happened to look back up because I wanted to see if I could see my mom still touching the tree, and I was shocked as to what I did see. When I looked back up, instead of seeing my mom touching the tree, my eyes went straight up like this because my mom's energetic form was at the top of the canopy. Because that tree, in that moment, must have received my mom's message, and it illuminated up the tree and it took it to the top of its canopy, and it was like wearing my mom's energy. I went to go find my mom afterwards, and I was like, are you okay? Because she wasn't by the tree. She was in the house and she was crying. I said, what happened? She says, I went to that tree and I put my hand on the tree and I expressed gratitude for the tree's warmth and for its protection and for its shade. She goes, and I got the strongest bit of information, and I was so moved by it that I didn't know what to do, so I just broke down in tears. When I told her what happened, then that tree actually took her message and it illuminated, and that tree energetically turned into this most vibrant green color that you could ever imagine, more than the other trees. That's just the first example of tree spirit information. That's a wild one. You should listen to roses. Roses are phenomenal.